Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else want to talk about anything before he hops in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let Lady Elaine know what you said about what I found, you know, from it being in the house. I'll make sure she knows.
Yeah, especially if she's got somebody who's a 3-year-old.
Well, that one full on had it.
Yeah, I mean, but you're, okay, so, but it's infecting everybody in the house. Okay,
Yeah.
so, because it's shards, I mean, it's actually, it's showing me, just like a virus. Think about this. You pass a virus on to somebody else. That virus is going to mutate and grow within another host. So it's not like it's little teeny tiny pieces of this thing that we're getting rid of. We're getting rid of full on energy forms. So that's what makes it so difficult, because if you do have a household full of people, they are vulnerable. What makes them the most vulnerable are their thoughts. A 3-year-old, more than likely, is a soul who came in with it, or it attached as soon as it got here.
Right.
Your guest is coming in.
She's saying that she's finding clients don't have it, but those around them do. That's what she's finding.
Right. And that I totally agree. I mean, that's very, very possible.
Mhm.
So, hi, Diva.
Hi.
Meet the wisdom mastermind.
Hello.
Hello.
We're missing a couple people. We're missing our New Zealand component. We're missing Leah, you'll meet her at the castle. Who else are we? That's it.
Elaine.
Oh, Elaine from Florida. Okay. All right. So, Diva, what I wanted, you can ask these people any questions you want, but what I'd like to do, I'm gonna go around. I'm in the car. Michaela and I are on our way to Virginia Beach. Mara is going to be my tech person. She is going to basically spotlight everybody as they talk so you can see them better. And all I really want them to do is tell you how they felt since 2017 working with the Wisdom Mastermind, how they feel working pseudo one-on-one in this arena. There's a Wisdom Mastermind's been going on now since what, guys, 2020? Did we do this start in 2020? This is our second full year, right? Okay. All right. So Mara, why don't you just pick somebody and ask them to start, and then you highlight them.
Yeah, and I muted everybody up just so that it's easier to hear. So okay. Clayton, you're up on my right first. I'm going to unmute you and ask you to go first.
I will lead with a question. What do you want to gain from this endeavor? Because you get exactly the amount of energy that you put into it. If you give a lot of effort to it, into learning about yourself, into doing the work, it will give back to you exactly what you put in. So in 2017, I was this lost little kid, and now I have perspective. I have what they're calling a higher vantage point. I can see farther on the horizon now, using a visual metaphor. Yeah, you will get exactly what you get. You will get exactly what you give, and that's all I have to say about that.
Do you want to talk about the wisdom? Same with the Wisdom Mastermind.
It's pretty much the same. You just work on a different level. You work on a higher level. Have fun with it.
And Diva, you're welcome to unmute yourself if you want to ask anybody questions at any time.
Thank you for that, Clayton. I guess my general questions are, for everyone, whoever wants to answer, how are you after going through this process of learning all the lessons? What type of skill sets have you obtained? And then, where were you before you started this? Were people in states of depression, anxiety, states of being lost, not knowing their purpose in life.
Okay.
And then where are you now?
So I'll tell you a story. When I first got started, back in 2017, I would go out to a coffee shop and read tarot cards and not know what I was doing. I couldn't feel anything. I could not discern any messages from any spirit of any kind. And I was just playing with cards, right? So in 2019, we finished the 53 lessons for the first time. And by that time, I could deal with traumas that people came to me with. I could tell them what kind of spirits they had around them and what they were doing. Sometimes what they were saying, not always. I had mastered Reiki. I had known a little bit of energy work before, but this really grew my experience. Learning the Reiki was probably one of the best things to ever happen to me, because now I'm a full-fledged practitioner making sometimes $200 at events we attend. And most of that skill that I have now came from here. And I'm forever grateful for it. There's just so much to talk about.
I think that's pretty good. Thank you, Clayton.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who wants to go next? Sarah.
So my story also started in 2017. I had just recently went through a full-blown spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, I mean, all of it. And I got attuned to do Reiki 1 and 2, but I had no clue what to do with it. I was playing with Oracle cards, no clue. I just was looking for answers. I was looking for like-minded people. I wanted to make sense of everything I was experiencing because I thought I was going crazy. And within a couple weeks, I somehow, I found the group, they found me. And I'm not the same person I was 2 weeks ago, let alone in 2017. So I think all I can say is I peeled away the layers and found my true self, became my authentic self. And it's still a process, it's not done. But the biggest thing was just surrendering, learning to just flow. And as Clayton said, I would just play with Oracle cards and I would get messages, but I thought it was a fluke. And now I actually, I have a side business doing tarot. I have clients that come to me, and I was so doubting my skills in any spiritual way. Coming into the group, I thought I'm the least experienced. I don't belong. I'm just here to learn, but I don't have gifts. And now I have confidence, but it's like a humble confidence. There have definitely been times, where I was trying to take on too much. And that was what was so great about Lady Sophia is, she is lovingly honest. And there's just always been this acceptance with everybody. We're always going through the same things together, even though we don't realize it. And the lessons always seem to dovetail or relate to what's going on in your life. Even if we reread them again a couple years later, it's like, whoa, that's going on in my life. And so there's that community of people. I know you're thinking about doing, a one-on-one. So, you may not have that benefit if you're doing it one-on-one, but surely I'm sure the messages are going to come through to you and speak to you as you read the book, and it will resonate. But I mean, I just can't, it's really hard to put into words. It's been life-changing. It's actually helped me find myself and find my purpose in life.
Thank you.
Let me comment on one thing. He'll always have community because he'll be invited into all of our groups.
Awesome. Okay.
So that that will have, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Like you guys have all met Chris in Path. He's jumped into Path of the Magi.
Mm-hmm.
He literally just almost like putting on a glove.
Right.
He feels a lot, and he hasn't done the lessons either. So that community is there.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure how the setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Was
The other
desired.
thing that, so I wanted you to clarify when you you had Reiki 1 and 2 by someone else before you came to me.
Yes,
And,
yes,
and you came for the full immersion. So
yes.
maybe let Diva know what the difference was between those two things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, the 1 and 2 was just a guy here who I always had revered as like this. I mean, he is very gifted spiritually and connects with spirits and things like that, but he was the only person I thought I'm just going to go to him. And it was a one-on-one, and he just, oh, like 2 hours, you tune me. I didn't get a practice on anybody. I literally came home and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I had all this energy flowing through me. I didn't know how to manage it because I just had the Kundalini awakening. So I had all this stuff and I just didn't know how to integrate, right? So the classes started, not long after that. So that sort of helped me start to manage all those things. And then it was spring of 2018 when I went to the castle and had the full week with Lady Sophia. And that was absolutely life-changing. I think that's really what gave me confidence finally, that I did have gifts to offer to the world and to work, to help people. I was actually able to work on other people and see that, the energy that was flowing through me was doing something. It gave me confidence. That's when I started my business, when I got back from there. And yeah, I've done any Reiki class I can take with Lady Sophia, I do, and the group, all the way up to the quantum animal Reiki. I have cats now that are certified. So.
Well, and so Diva, just so you know too, this wisdom mastermind, these individuals are the people who, and not in any judgmental or pejorative way, I'm just saying they rose to the top and wanted to work at a higher level, like you are wanting to work at a higher level and more of a one-on-one type situation. So they have entered into this wisdom mastermind with me, where everybody in the group, anytime I have classes, they get to take the classes. So everybody's repeated these classes many, many times, because each time you do Reiki, it's totally different. In some respects, it's totally different. So, and I think Clayton made a good point over there in chat too. So, but I'll let that go. Were you done?
I read it. Thank you.
There?
Yeah, I thought to jump in. I'm going to jump in next simply because I think I want to give a little context to being one of them. Everybody here is practicing Reiki, but I'm a professional that doesn't have a Reiki shingle hung out, Dr. Diva. I'm a professional educator. I actually met Lady Sophia right before the first wisdom studies classes started that this group is part of, were formed. I had finished writing my first book, and it was about kids hating school and what parents could do about that. I literally met her the day after I wrote the book, and to me, it was like I had met somebody I had been looking for my whole life. She invited me to come to the castle, and when I met the core knights, and sat at the table and explained to them that I had a vision on how to change education, they not only all got it, they all said, "How can we help you? We're here. Whatever we can do, we will offer you that support." Since that day to now, I now actually have a business, Micro School Builders, and I've helped to build about a dozen schools, and I have clients all over the world. And honestly, I know that wouldn't be possible without the coursework. What Wisdom Mastermind, what all of the Reiki certifications, and I've actually, I'm fully certified as a Reiki master in all of the modalities that Lady Sophia teaches that others have spoken about. What it lets me do is stay constantly focused on being a clear channel for the vision, for the guidance that's coming through about how I'm supposed to be working to empower children on the planet. So my Reiki practice I'm not taking clients and having them on the table, but I do use Reiki in every single call I have. And I use the Reiki to keep myself clean and clear. What happens now is I'm talking with my school building clients, and something that will really benefit their growth and development comes through me. It's not me, it's coming through me. And it's only because I'm in this constant state as a learner myself. So I think that's probably the most important thing to say, but I'm using all of these wisdom studies in my professional work to help enhance my work to create kinder, gentler, more child-centered education on the planet.
Thank you.
That was awesome, Mara. And I have to also tell you this, she was actually offered the keys to the castle to build a school at the castle. I mean, from day one, build it here.
Well, I did, Lady Sophia. So what I did was I built a virtual, I thought, Dr. Diva, when I thought about this idea, the first part of the vision I was given was a one-room schoolhouse. And I thought that meant I was supposed to build that. And I went to try and go and do that, and it didn't succeed. Being part of these studies helped me to look at that and to say, okay, so that's not the thing. What do I do next? And to persist, to understand the vision. I ran an event at the castle about a year after my first book was published and prior to the second book, which is all about how to build a school, and convened a group of people at the castle at the round table to talk about building small schools. The vice president of my business was one of the people who showed up at that event. So running my events from that location creates this incredible draw for like-minded spiritual people. And that the core of what I would not put this up on any website, Lady Sophia. The core of what I'm doing is recreating the ancient mystery schools for children so that they do not go back, they are not forced to go to sleep. I was one of those kids. I was very awake. I had traumatic events happen. It was not okay to be who I was. I was considered to be outspoken, bossy, selfish, you name it. I figured out how to do school, became a teacher, went all the way to the top of the profession. I earned my doctorate and my superintendent's licensure, and then had the rug pulled out from under me. And it was such a gift, because with nothing left there, in that sort of abyss of nothingness, the vision started to come. And it's Lady Sophia's guidance. It's the support of the Core Angel Knights. It is this mastermind that keeps me focused, that keeps me moving forward. I literally just had a session with Lady Sophia yesterday because I was feeling stuck. So I have this capacity to go to her to say, something's not right. Will you help me figure out what it is? The answers are not always easy. This time it's some serious dietary cleanup. And actually, in a lot of the ways, I have to start speaking more clearly about the spiritual studies and their role in my life and their role in the schools. I'm not exactly sure yet what that's going to look like. But, I can tackle the fear of having a target on my back with this group, as my crew.
It's interesting. The vibe between you and Diva. So you've come and you've done work and you've brought your work there to the castle, and it's amplified your work.
Yes.
Diva and I have been talking about him doing some of his work at the castle as well, and a transformation there. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's
well, the one warning I will give you is when you run your work there, you cannot hide. I had that first event I drew in some really negative energy. Lady Sophia helped me to get that removed. And then she called me on it, and she helped me to understand that I had a decision to make. I had to go do things the way the rest of the world says that I should do them, or I could do them the way that Spirit is guiding me to do them. It was an easy answer, but it was incredibly painful in the moment. So, this isn't the Susie Sunshine spiritual path. This is the warrior's path.
And this is what I want to hear. I mean, Sarah brought up that a little bit too, about the way I deliver it is always with love. I will not let you lie to yourself. No one here can lie to themselves in my presence, and they cannot lie to me. So I know what's going on, and you say you want something, and if you want it, I will be 3,000% behind you, support you in that goal. But if it means you have to hear some words that don't feel comfortable to the ego, then that's going to happen. But like I told you the other day, I'll say it, and then we're on to the other thing. I don't skip a beat. Everything was with love. So, yeah.
Well, I will tell you that the texts come in the most inconvenient of times to say, I just heard this for you. You need to go deal with this. But that's the thing that I can also tell you is any hangups that I have in my head about feeling bad about myself because I've missed the mark or I've done something, air quotes, wrong. What I can tell you is know many other people who practice unconditional love and regard for their students. Lady Sophia is a supreme model for that. So you will have that as well.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Does anybody have a timeline that you have to go, or who wants to go next? Anybody? I can't hear you. Oh, Jane, go ahead, Jane.
Lady Jane.
Well, I'll have to tell you, David, we've met. Nice to see you again. We were on the garden, working on the regenerative garden, I think, when I met you at the castle. So I just have to say I've been around for what, 21, 22 years. I have been loved a lot over the years. By Lady Sophia, forever.
And your butt will stick a lot.
So, being kind of a, been on this path a long time with other types of path under my belt when I came, I don't think I've missed any Reiki except for a few over all these years. Each time is different. The growth is phenomenal. And I have to say each day is a growth day. And I mean, there's so much I could say. A lot has been said already by others. I guess for 21 years that we've been at the castle doing Reiki, or 22, I've been through all of them. And I can just say the longer you stay on this path, the more that you open to it, the learning becomes phenomenal. You get open, another door opens, another portal, and you can look back. Sometimes even the day before, right? In the quantum space we're in now, I can look back to yesterday and go like, holy shit. So, it's like, what happened? I don't even remember what happened. So it's something, like Sarah said, to surrender to in the nuts and bolts when you get into actually the wisdom that's offered in the classes. There's so much didactic, everyday living. Where have we been before? Where are we going? Can satisfy maybe all those little compartments of the brain that want to know, maybe there's history. It's all, so the spirit is blended in very well with the ego over time. And, if you're a traveler and you've been lots of places, you'll begin to pull that piece of life together. And I've been fortunate. I've traveled a lot. I've lived a lot of places. I've had a lot of different careers. And, this is pretty much where I settle myself now. I still practice. I'm doctor of naturopathy and a nutritionist. And anybody that I see, they may end up on the table, or just in working with them, it's just the wisdom come through. It could be a channel. It could be whatever they need. And they grow, I grow. And I have to say, with Lady Sophia, and I've had the benefit of, Sir Everett over the years and all the things we've done together. But, as she grows, we grow, and she's always a few steps here or there. You go around her, and after a while, I joke with you the other day. I came out for 1 minute. Do you want me to help you put that up? And I came back and I says, well, I'm surprised you don't have the whole thing done. She's fast. She's like Wonder Woman, it's lightning. So it's true. You won't get away with any shiitsu, okay? You can't run, you can't hide, but you're not going to be buried. You might get to the edge of the cliff, but you won't fall, So when the good, the bad, and the ugly is, sometimes a pretty hard, tough cheek can come through, but it's there. And then, there's no grudge there. It's like, okay, time to move on. It's hard for us sometimes, our little selves have to move on. So, it depends on where you are in life. I'm 75 now. So, I really want to get it right. I'm on this, for the next 25 years, I want to be feeling good and all of that. So it takes doing the work. And we all have moments, I've had some recently. You just kind of pick it up, work with it, knowing that you're not thrown out of the club. You just crawl back in. And, it's pretty incredible. It's part of our whole, for me, anti-aging. If you want to look at the ego side of life, yes, we all have an ego, but it's feeling better. It's learning ways to heal. We all kind of share knowledge, and then knowledge and stuff comes through her, and then somebody else might bring a piece. So it's like the better vitamin pill, the better this, the better that, so we deal with, I would say, with all levels of life to make the collective work done. And that's ever changing, right? changes all the time. And if you can't be flexible, and if you cannot be willing to change, this is probably not the right place to be. You have to be pretty flexible. Just a little quickie, like I was supposed to be away this weekend, which I am, on a family thing, where my father's being honored. And I'm with a cousin in her house that I haven't seen in 40 years. And it's just, you know, I thought, oh, well, this will be the perfect weekend. Nothing's going to happen this weekend. All of a sudden, you need to be covered at the castle. There's like 5 or 6 things going, and there's this, there's that, and this came up, you know, and it's like, you just learn how to be where you have to be with everything, you know, as best you can, and you stay connected. And it's like when you think you're alone, you're not alone. I have to say that's really true. And yesterday I had some really, and I usually don't get this way, but I had some yucky time in the airport. It was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe the energy around me. I almost walked the other way out of the airport, just killing time. I almost walked right past the security like I was going to baggage. It says, whoa, this is not right. You know, then I have to start all over again. And then I reached out to this group, you know, and asked just for a little boost. And so those kinds of things, no matter how solid we think we are, they really do help. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. The other thing to think about with what Jane's talking about, she has the privilege of living less than 15 minutes away. So she's at the castle a lot. Lady Mara is another one who she comes down once a month because she's in Pittsburgh. The rest of these people, I know they would love to be here. Finn, who's in Norway. Yes, and Alexandria in Florida, Clayton in Louisiana. I would love to have them all closer by, but they're all stations of light where they are. So we're all doing a different level of job. I want to be mindful of your time, Diva. How much longer do you have?
I have just about 10 more minutes or so.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right. So do you have any other questions for them, or do you want just to hear from somebody else?
No, I appreciate everyone's input. It's really definitely has helped me in terms of where I am and where I want to go and what I want for myself, as well as what do I want for humanity. So no, thank you. I mean, I guess I must have called on this because, you know, I guess it was a few months ago. I'm always trying to learn about healing and different modalities of how to help heal others and facilitate healing for others. And I just was telling myself, like, I just want like a course, like a regular course where I can learn what I want to learn, that will teach me what I want to teach me. And I guess my calling was heard because here it is.
Right. Alexandria, you want to go?
Hello, sir. You know that was one of my questions for you. My question was, I wrote it down, what have you prayed for? And that your energetic alignment brought you here. And if you prayed for a master teacher, he is here, present in the flesh. This is no joke. This is the Mother, Father, God energy, creation energy, incarnated. She's able to speak to us. She's able to interact with us and give us living lessons on a daily basis. If you've been craving to accomplish more things, or you just want to feel that, create that sense of peace, but exponentially have it grow so it's at longer periods just for your human experience, this is the way to navigate the human experience with the most amount of grace. I've been searching for, before I was a teenager, and I've never encountered any teachings like this, never. It is the shortest but fastest track to your mission in life, enriching your relationships around you, and being aware in every single moment what you think, what you feel, what you speak, and your actions, your physical actions, how you move about this world. I cannot stress to you enough how remarkable and what an absolute gift this is. If you don't take her up on it, you prayed for it, you don't take her up on it, okay, you're gonna have to come back around again because this is an absolute, my life has changed. I'm not even gonna go into the details, but oh my God, I don't even recognize myself from when I started, the amount of fear-based thinking I had, the amount of it's everybody else's fault, the amount of sense of lack I had in my life. Like, we're the creationary manifestors, and she has taught us this. We create everything in our reality. It's our own damn fault if we don't get what we want or achieve what we desire. And she's taught us this. She's a master teacher beyond anything. And I cannot thank her enough. Between her and Sir Edward, I cannot thank them. I'm like forever humbled for their teachings. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Alexander. Diva, I want her to say one more thing. It was actually Alexander, about a year and a half ago or so, where there was a potential, what do you want to call it, a fall from grace. There, you had a time where you were either disenchanted or angry or whatever the situation happened because of life issues. And I just want you to, you don't have to tell them the specifics, but how did you feel during that time? And what made you go, okay, you talked to me on the phone. Actually, we were on a camping trip when I talked to you on the phone. And what happened? He needs to know, like I said, the good, bad, the ugly.
Yes. Okay. What it was is, in my desperate need for looking for connection outside of myself, I settled for connection with someone who, like the complaining, the gossip, that girlfriend, but not in a good way, kind of nasty. I don't know how to describe it. Like,
it was somebody trying to pull you away.
Yes. And every time I talk to this person, when are you quitting? It's too much money. She's just, I never told you this, lady Sophia. She's just human. Don't you see her ego? Don't you see this? We're just as good as she is. Blah, 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 blah. All of these things. And if you're hearing that, if you're connected.
That's true. That's all.
What's
true.
that?
That's all true.
Yeah, of course. But this person also made up fictitious things about where the money was going. I mean, just like all out kind of thing. It wasn't just the person. That was that negative energy that we're encountering in the world now. That's that set stuff. That's that parasitic energy that we're encountering in the world right now. And I fell, and like I said, in my desperate need for like friendship and feeling like I've always felt like I was too isolated because I knew stuff or I could see stuff. And I thought, oh, he's a like-minded person. It's safe. We're all in this class together. If anybody looked more like an angel, that person looked absolutely like an angel, right? With the blue eyes, the blonde hair, everything was, so anyway, with the nudges, I succumbed to the nudges. I didn't actually quit, but I questioned the teacher, and it affected it. Like it did this, it flipped the entire world upside down. I'm sorry, see, I'm on call. I'm sorry, my job is on call 24/7.
Okay, I want to interject. It's not so much questioning. It's what's the parasite that's happening in the world right now is negative reasoning.
And that's exactly what it was.
Right. Anybody who employs negative reasoning is vulnerable for that Watiko that we've been talking about, right? So it's the negative reasoning that is the spiral of dysfunction.
Right. I'm sorry.
You have to employ the positive reasoning to bring yourself up. So, can you finish, Alexandria? Or
So yes, so yeah, no. It's so what had happened is that it was broached to me, okay, you don't like how the show was run, you don't like, okay, you're done. So it was immediately ripped from me. This enveloping mother, father, God energy was ripped from me. And I went through a death that night. Didn't sleep at all. Didn't sleep at all. Didn't sleep at all. Didn't sleep at all. And I kept getting messages from certain members, and I just said, enough, no more. I can't bear it anymore. And I fell on my sword. I don't know if you know that expression. Because I was given, it was actually a gift, given the gift of what life is like without being connected to this divine grace and this wisdom. So after that, I thought, oh my goodness, here, like this has to be protected at all costs. You will have people in your life, you may have family members, you may have friends, significant others that are like, oh, that's stupid, or oh, it's a cult, or oh, whatever. You protect it at all costs, because it can be taken away if you don't respect it enough. And that's all I can say.
thank you, Alexandria. So, so those of you who jumped in and helped me save Austin the other day, that was his, I don't know if I told you all this, it was his father-in-law. So this is similar to what Alexandria just talked about. We're really not saving the Knights Order or our little group, we're saving the light. Anytime someone tells you that if you don't follow Jesus, or you don't follow Muhammad, or you don't follow anybody in particular, you don't even follow us. We don't want you following us. We want you walking alongside of us, shining your own light. So we have the responsibility as light bearers to step up whenever there's darkness. And when you see that, it's our responsibility to rally around people who need our help. So like what Alexandria said, I mean, I have, my family's like, you know, what are you doing? Many, many times. However, you can't succumb to that negative reasoning that we talked about. You have to have the positive reasoning in place at all time, and basically know your heart. The other thing that I'll comment on is basically when Alexandria presented that whatever the chatter was that was being presented to her, but that's fine, that you don't have to stay. It wasn't you have to leave, it was you don't have to stay. So it's an interesting dynamic, because I've even faced that in years before because of different things, and we'll go into that later, where I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I have too much pressure from the outside. But then as soon as I either hear in my head or I'm told on the outside, well, you don't have to do it anymore, immediately I know I have to, because it's my soul's purpose. So that's just another level of everything. Any questions about that, Diva?
No, I appreciate it. I think, thank you for arranging this call, and thank you everyone for being available on this call. And thanks for everyone who actually spoke about their experiences. It's really been very helpful and useful for me. So I appreciated everything.
Awesome. All right, Diva, if you have any other questions, and we can always. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Anybody else want to talk or ask any questions before we go further?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Finn.
Hello. Hello.
How's it going?
Yes, I'm doing good. I'm Corona home for a week now.
You feeling better?
Yeah, absolutely. A little hangling, but I'm okay.
Okay.
Yes. I just want to tell very fast my experience. I have been started with Reiki open up the 1, 2 Reiki 1 and 2 for 20 years ago, I think. the old system with this all this paper stuff and symbols and yeah. And I've been working in like a sale estate, like a real estate and finance. And in 2011, I gave away everything I own, and I traveled for I had 6 months to prove to myself that we create with everything with the thoughts and the feelings. And since then I have been on this roller coaster, you can say, in this spiritual my own awakening, my own heart opening, and my shame about to show love in some way, to be neglected, to be pushed away in some way. And in 2000 and when I have been studying with this intergalactic interest about all the spectre, you can say. And when I come to the Goodnight University and met Lady Sophia and this group, it was like you just know it's the real deal, because you can feel it, and you get they see your heart in some way, and she always opened up the door to give me a chance to come in and to tell what's going on in my life, and so but you are always on your own, but in the same time you are always carried for it's so much love. And I took this Karuna Master Reiki with her, and we just woke up in the morning, and I was supposed to take it online, and I didn't have so much money. I think $50 maybe, something like that. And I just wake up and I think I am a master creator, and I just message Lady Sophia, and I said I come to Baltimore in Washington, and I come and take the class. It's about 2 months in time in forward. And she said, perfect. And everything just came to me, plane tickets and all I needed. And yeah, this is the real deal, so to speak. So follow your heart. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're muted, Lady Sophia.
Oh, sorry. I would say you all don't have to talk. I mean, I think Joan's the only one that hasn't talked, but I want to thank you all for talking to him. I don't know what's going to happen. I have been I've been actually trying to talk him out of the one-on-one because I think, like Sarah brought up the thing about community. I'm going to bring him into the community. However, I think the richness of the class experience with other people is exponentially greater the more people you're with. And that's the one thing that we didn't say, maybe it was glossed over, but Reiki 1 today is going to be different than Reiki 1 tomorrow because of the different people that are in it, or the fact that you're different. And so the experience is so rich. And I really think that his personality needs to work with people. Right now, he's a
He may
one-on-one.
well decide that, though, after having met us.
I think
Yeah.
he might.
I felt like a nudge for some reason to say that, like to be like, talk about the community, to talk about and kind of be like, well, you may not have that. And I didn't mean to I didn't know the situation, but there's some reason I felt like I had to say that because I thought maybe I might push him to reconsider.
Maybe a little FOMO in this situation won't be a bad thing.
Maybe a little what?
A little FOMO.
Oh.
I think Joan actually, to really balance this call, Joan should actually say what she wanted to say.
All right, Joan, you ready?
Matthew. And that what I would have said was coming into this group, you come in empty, and I truly was empty because my knowledge on angels and anything spiritual, I didn't have any understanding with that. And it was through the group, Lady Mara, Lady July, the two of them, they picked me up right off the bat and gave me encouragement and got me to be more involved. So there's so much you learn from the books, but there's so much you learn from each other. And there is the support, and there is a hot seat, which I'm the president of. But sometimes you do something a little bit and you get questioned on it. But that's great because it's done in front of everybody. But they're talking to you, but at the same time, they're also talking to everybody else. It's a lesson for everybody. It's not lesson just for you. And so you are teacher and student in that situation, because that you boo-booed, but at the same time, you're helping teach everybody why it was a boo-boo. And you wrap your head around it and you realize, okay, this is the way things should go. And you get a better understanding and you listen to your thoughts better. And I mean, everybody's human and everybody boo-boos. So that's good. But yeah, you just, like with my childhood and growing up and things are sort of, yeah. But with this group, it made sense of everything that brought me up to where I am today. And I've learned to forgive others for situations that happened. I have learned to forgive myself. I have been gifted empathy for the situations, and I can help others understand what they're going through because I have already gone through it and learned from it and grew from it and realized that, yeah, it was a mess, but there's a gift in there. Look for the gift. Always look for the gift. It's okay, and you're okay. But it's a wonderful group. It's a wonderful family, and it's a wonderful life.
Thank you, Lady Joan. So, and thank you all again for doing this. I think it's always good to revisit how we feel about the work, you know, where we've come and where we're going and what we're doing right now. And when we look back and see the growth that each one of us has taken, it's just phenomenal. So again, thank you. You guys have a great weekend. Does anybody else need to say anything before we close off?
I feel like I need to just let them know. I heard yesterday that this should be recorded, that I should spotlight everybody and I should attempt to take what you said and make it into a testimonial for Lady Sophia. So, I mean, none of them would get posted without your permission, but you were all so incredibly authentic today. I think that's why it had to be recorded. You would have had so much a harder time doing a testimonial for Lady Sophia's website, but you did a beautiful job. Everybody's was like, I was like near tears half the time.
I know it was pretty amazing and eclectic. Everybody had their own part of the pie to put together. So it was really beautiful. Awesome. All right, everyone.
One more thing. Good luck, Michaela. May she win her tournament or have a great
Thank
time.
you.
Is she driving?
She's driving, so I can work.
Okay, you be safe, Chica. You keep our mama safe too.
Thank you. Bye,
So
everybody.
I took a couple of pictures because your hands kept glowing.
Oh, really?
So I'll send them to you.
All right, cool. Thank you all. Have a good, Michaela says goodbye.
Bye, Michaela.
Bye. And Mara, do you want to end it on your end so you can hold the recording?
Yes, I'll end it.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yeah.